Namaste. Today we are going to react to the London city, that is England's mega city, the empire capital. And we have never been to UK, so that is a very good thing for us because we can like completely see this video and understand each and everything about this video. And like as far as we know, like we have seen a lot of London in Bollywood movies, because there is also like a lot of in it is a famous movie. I don't know which movie it was, but like Akshay Kumar and Katrina Kaif movie, in which he goes to London and then he becomes kind of a London type person, and then people try to make him sure that okay, that you have to like have your Indianness also. So there are many movies like people move to London and doing these things, and even many Punjabi movies that are based in London. So I have seen a lot of things about the Big Ben and all these iconic moments, monuments of London. But yes, I have never seen the London city in whole, and I think so this video will help us in understanding the whole city and how beautiful or how busy or what are the ugly sides of it, and we'll see everything about it.
And it's not like that London is only famous in the India or specifically United Kingdom. It is also very famous in India, and especially in the Pakistani movies. In maximum movies, the shoots are in the London, and I do think that 60 to 70% of Indian people want to visit London because of the movies. They have always, seen we have always seen the London in the movies, but there are few people who visit to the London. And as Parvin said that me and Parvin didn't went to UK, so definitely this video is going to be very informative for me. And to be honest, I'm always so excited to learn about different culture, learn about different things about the countries. And literally I am not having that much information and knowledge about the London, but from this video we are going to know a lot of things about the London, because London is always in my bucket list, but I didn't have that much knowledge about it. So yeah, that's the reason I'm so much excited to watch this video. So let's watch the video.
Yes, and this looks like one good tour of England or one good tour of London. So let's go on the tour of London.
The world's largest city, until 1925, is now a mature, well-planned metropolis with a population of 13.7 million.
Oh,
It's a highly admired place and is consistently ranked as a top 3 most visited destination on the planet, making its airspace the busiest on Earth. As the largest urban economy in Europe, with the greatest concentration of top-class universities, it has hosted the Summer Olympics a record 3 times. It has something for everyone, whether you're after luxury, the world's most 5-star hotels, nature, the world's largest urban forest in a city with more than 40% green space,
oh wow.
sports, the world's highest total stadium capacity, or entertainment, the world's biggest theater audience.
Wow.
Oh,
But while the high life continues for many, this city has seen its share of tough times. This is London, the Empire City. Londinium was founded in 43 AD along the River Thames as a gateway for goods and people entering Britannia.
This sounds like a chemical, like Londinium. I don't know why, but yes. So
Yeah,
let's watch.
yeah, potassium.
From every corner of the Roman Empire. A walled city covering roughly 1.5 square kilometers, Roman London reached a population of 60,000 in the 2nd century.
Oh,
But the empire soon came under severe crisis, and by the 4th century, Londinium was completely abandoned. After 700 years, what was now called London had recovered to become the largest town in England.
oh.
The construction of Westminster Abbey in the 11th century ensured its place as the heart of the country. Since then, the Abbey has hosted every coronation of an English or British monarch. Its most recent royal wedding was Prince William to Catherine Middleton, and last month, the state funeral of Elizabeth II took place at the Abbey. Sitting alongside is the Palace of Westminster, home to the government of the United Kingdom with its 2 houses of Parliament. Westminster lies just southwest of the City of London, a ceremonial district that covers a bit more than a square mile.
This looks so
It
crowded.
constituted most of settled London through the Middle Ages and is today one of the world's most important financial centers. The Royal Exchange, seen here with work being done to its facade, was the center of London commerce. Originally opened by Queen Elizabeth I, royal heralds still shout the news of historic events from its steps, like the dissolution of Parliament and the start of a new monarch's reign.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King. Hip hip, hooray!
Just outside the city's borders is the Tower of London. Originally a castle built by King William the Conqueror, it has served as a grand royal palace, a prison, a treasury, a menagerie, the Royal Mint, a public record office, and the home of the crown jewels of England.
What?
In the
Johnny Sins?
1660s, it was an armory, during the most destructive event in London's history. Still reeling from the Great Plague that year that had killed 100,000 people, nearly a quarter of its population, Londoners awoke on the morning of September 2nd, 1666, to high winds and smoke. Over 4 days, most of the medieval city was destroyed by a raging fire.
My god, that's insane.
The Tower of London garrison used gunpowder to create effective fire breaks that stopped the fire's spread to the east. Although there's never been an official death toll, several thousand were likely killed, and thousands of buildings were reduced to ash, including over 13,000 homes, 90 churches, and St. Paul's Cathedral. In the aftermath, many architects submitted plans reimagining grand boulevards along a grid system that would become popular in urban America. But the businessmen of the city were eager to rebuild and mostly stuck to the old street plan, although they widened some streets and built with brick and stone rather than flammable wood. Even without an extensive redesign, the cost of the rebuild forced the City of London Corporation into default, and forced thousands of its newly homeless residents to resettle in the countryside, with a little push from King Charles II, who feared they might revolt. So how did London survive a devastating plague and fire in the same year?
Yeah.
The simplest explanation is that the culture of the city at this time was historically dynamic, cultivating ingenuity in every aspect of society. London's population had recently exploded leading up to the Great Plague and fire, growing from 50,000 to 500,000. As the main
10
port in the
times.
North Sea, its ships were taking full advantage of new trading opportunities in the Americas and Asia. And one new commodity they brought back gave Londoners a huge jolt: coffee.
Coffee.
The foreign brew was served in houses that became meeting places to catch up on and debate the news of the day.
Oh.
Soon, houses catered to particular trades like craftsmen, writers, and explorers. The free exchange of ideas they encouraged gave rise to the UK's National Academy of Sciences, whose members included the coffeehouse-addicted Robert Hooke, the great Isaac Newton, chemist Robert Boyle, philosopher John Locke, and prolific architect Christopher Wren.
Oh, wow.
Coffeehouse culture also fueled the world's first great capitalist economy. Edward Lloyd's house specialized in obtaining the most reliable shipping news. A waiter there would read out the latest bulletins, then pin them to a wall, attracting long-distance traders eager to make deals on site. Today, Lloyd's has evolved into the world's main insurance market, an unseen but vital engine in the globalized economy, where brokers and underwriters can still meet face-to-face to form the trust necessary to close deals that are too risky or unique for any other market.
Oh.
This culture also established in 1694 the Bank of England, creating a publicly financed national debt, an innovation that positioned Britain as a global superpower and its capital as the world's most important city of the 1700s. London's wealth allowed it to finance the most powerful navy the world had ever seen. The memorial column at Trafalgar Square commemorates the victory that cemented Britain's superiority on the high seas. The battle saw an outnumbered Admiral Horatio Nelson bravely sacrifice his life while leading his warships into the heart of the combined Spanish and French fleets, decimating them without losing a single British vessel. The victory ended any hope European conquerors like Napoleon had for invading Britain by sea, and set the stage for a peacetime boom. Propelled by inventions like the electric motor by London's Michael Faraday, the Industrial Revolution brought rapid urbanization and growth, and by 1831, London was the largest city in the world.
Wow.
It was also filthy. The Thames was an open sewer, capturing the waste of 3 million people. The stink and cholera it produced was unbearable. Chief Civil Engineer Joseph Bazalgette was put in charge of creating a modern sewer system, an innovative mega-project involving hundreds of miles of brick and cement tunnels, combined with several pumping stations, to move the sewage a few miles downriver and release it safely away from London. Another engineering marvel at this time was the underground. Through trial and error over 20 grueling years, project mastermind John Fowler's team perfected the technique of cut and cover, completing the Metropolitan line in 1863. It was both the world's first subterranean and rapid railway system. Today, it is the third longest metro system on Earth, and is still growing.
Wow.
The 19 billion pound Elizabeth line was inaugurated this May, completing a phase that was the biggest construction project in all of Europe. The quality of transportation available to Londoners, including their roads and stagecoach service, allowed them to settle and commute farther from the city centre. With the population passing 6 million in the 1800s, middle-class workers were looking for homes with a modest garden. So developers built sprawling tracts in the outskirts, including the Beacon Tree Estate in Dagenham. With more than 25,000 semi-detached dwellings, it was the largest housing development in the world.
Oh, wow.
It seems suburbia began in Britain, foreshadowing the sprawl that was to come to places like Los Angeles.
This looks nice.
As London swallowed up more and more of the surrounding countryside, authorities contained...
But still I've heard in a lot of videos, London is very, very costly to live. But we are seeing that London is so big. It is,
Yeah.
we have seen this thing happening, or we are seeing this thing happening in Mumbai. Mumbai is continuously expanding itself and to more and more places, and you for to go to from my place to Mumbai, it is relatively easier than to go from the north of Mumbai to the south of Mumbai. So that's how time consuming and hectic that is. So the thing was mainly how London was also expanding, and similarly Mumbai is also expanding. But yes, you can also see that in Mumbai that the houses are still costly even though they are too far away from the city center. And similarly I think so London would be the same. And we can say you just see all these dots out there. Normally in cities you see those green patches some or the other way, but it is just so many houses and so many industries were built in there. So it was such a big center, and in 18th century only it became the biggest city of the world, and biggest in the terms of the one of the most powerful cities of the world. So very interesting.
Authorities contained it by reserving wide swaths of land for a green belt 7 to 10 miles deep around its built-up area.
Oh.
This so-called girdle could only be left wild, turned into parks, or used for agriculture, an idea sold to Londoners as guaranteeing their access to recreation. The citizens of Britain's other cities wanted access to clean air and nature too, and soon were adopting green belts of their own. In 1941, after Hitler's Air Force bombed London for 8 months, killing more than 30,000, many buildings were destroyed. However, with the green belt restricting development, the cost of the land available to build on rose, a trend that has continued until today, when 70% of the cost of a new building is now the purchase of the land, compared to just 25% in the 1950s.
So costly.
This has contributed to a severe shortage of affordable housing, and sparked a much-needed conversation about how to more wisely use London's precious public lands in ways that actually benefit the general public. Another post-war development was an increase in immigration to London from the British Commonwealth countries of India, Jamaica, and Pakistan. Today, more than 4 million Londoners are foreign-born, the fourth largest immigrant community in the world after New York, LA, and Paris. But drawing so many new arrivals has contributed to London's housing crunch, and the megacity now has the highest real estate prices in Europe.
Oh.
So developers try to stack more square footage on each plot of land, making buildings taller and changing London's notoriously low-slung skyline. The financial districts are home to most of the 103 buildings taller than 100 meters, the second to most skyscrapers in Europe, behind Moscow. As a picturesque riverine city with layers of historic architecture, gorgeous greenscapes, an economy that hums along as the capital of one of the world's most stable democracies, it's no wonder why people and their money are drawn to London. However, The twin challenges of assimilating millions of foreigners and adapting to the rising cost of living, especially for those outside the capital, helped sway a majority of British voters to leave the European Union in the summer of 2016, a decision that continues to challenge the churn of occupants at 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's residence. Just across from St. James Park is Buckingham Palace, official residence of the head of state of the United Kingdom, the newly crowned King Charles III. While both Brexit and the role of a monarch in a modern society pose internal political challenges for the entire country, London is also grappling with the wicked problem facing the entire world: climate change. During the record heat wave this July that saw temperatures reach 40.2 Celsius or 104.4 Fahrenheit at Heathrow Airport,
That's too much
numerous
for
parts
London.
of London were again ablaze.
A blaze?
To the east, the steadily rising sea presents an enormous flood risk to an estimated £200 billion worth of property along the Thames, a tidal river. To protect the city, an impressive 520-meter retractable barrier was built in 1984, a structure the Environmental Agency believes should last, with slight modifications, until 2070, a testament to the foresight of its design and engineering team. Water also presents another challenge. While London is sometimes perceived as consistently socked in by fog and gray skies, it actually receives just half the rainfall of New York City, despite a significantly more northern latitude. It even gets less rain than the fairly dry cities of Rome, Lisbon, and Sydney. The problem is
Why?
that the western half of southern England catches most of the rain systems from the Atlantic, receiving about 4 times the precipitation as the eastern half. As things continue to get drier and more unpredictable, hydrologists warn that London, on the eastern, dry side, may begin having water supply problems by 2050. So a debate is ongoing about whether to submerge a swath of Oxfordshire on the Thames to create a reservoir to store water for the megacity. But although London faces a few challenges from forces beyond its control, solving them seems relatively straightforward. And looking ahead, London's position, well away from the coast, on a temperate island with no active volcanoes, is one of the most advantageous locations for any major city in history,
Yes.
which should allow it to continue as a top global city well into the 2100s.
What a great video it was, and most importantly we got to know a lot of things about the London. We got to know that it is a great city only, and it is a capital of the England and United Kingdom. It has the population over 900 million people, and we also got to know that and I do think that London is the proper example of the urbanization in the world. It has history, it has art, it has architecture. Basically it has everything in the required combination that make this city very unique. And we also got to know that it is one of the developed cities of the largest cities of the world. And we also got to know a little bit in history about this. We got to know that in 1666 London was burnt, and a lot of buildings got fall, and basically the London burned in the fire. We got to know. And after that we also got to know about the Hitler, that Hitler bombed the London for like 8 months. So basically it has a great history. Still it develops so much, and it is economically very strong. It is one of the largest cities of the world, and still it is doing so great. And I do think that it is also one of the biggest cities of the world, because Britishers started looting everyone. And that's the reason. It's not like that they looted us Indians. They looted they looted the whole world. That obviously that's the reason London is also the richest and the powerful city of the world on that time. But now we all know that now it is not, because we all know that America is the most powerful country of the world right now. But yeah, and or or London is also a richest or the powerful city is because that it is the capital city of the, of the England as well as United Kingdom. And we have to say that it is so beautiful city. And we also got to know that 40% there is a greenery in London still right now. And we also got to know that 40 how much the temperature rised in London. So basically this video was a full of package. We got to know a lot of things about the London, and I grasped a lot of things from this video, and I do think that this video was so informative for me.
Yes, and I like the best idea that I liked was like having that green boundary around a city. Like so, London started to do it, and then every other city in UK started to follow it. I like that a lot because like that defines, okay, now we are not going more than this. So like if you want to go more than this, then there is another city that you have to go to. This is the boundary of London, and even then that boundary is very big, and still London looks so big. Like I was seeing the map from the top, or the images from the top. So normally what you see is like in many countries, like in many cities, like in Mumbai you would see, okay, there are then all these small places, or the places with low lying houses, and then you will see all the high rises on one side. But in London you see high rises here, then there are some here, and then there's some here, they're scattered, and that is the way it is being built. So like people are starting to build big buildings onto it. But yes, there is not even the end. At the end he showed a thumbnail of Jakarta. So in Jakarta also we could see that one place there was just completely low lying houses, and then one place there was just high rises and all. So normally we see this trend, but this trend was not here in London. It is just like, okay, like wherever you want to build, now keep on building that high rise building so that we can change the landscape of it. And because the cost of living is very high in London, and it is very expensive to live in London. So the thing is, it has become the city of dreams. Like everybody would want to like go to London. Everybody outside of UK would surely want to visit London and see what is the beauty of it, like what are the places. And even though it has been able to maintain all the greenery around it, so I just loved the video and loved the explanation of this video completely. So how did you guys find it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.